Hey everybody, Kyle Sasser here, and it's everyone's favorite time. That's right, it's market statistics time. So these market statistics are for Hillsborough County, March 2021 compared to March 2020. You might be asking yourself, Kyle, why are we looking at March statistics? We just got through the month of April, and we are already in May. And the answer is that it does take a little while for the Pinellas Realtors organization to put these statistics together. On average, I don't get these stats until about the 20th of the subsequent month, and we look at the preceding month. Other thing to understand about these statistics is that we do look at year over year, which means that we are comparing March 2021 numbers to March 2020 numbers. And as you might remember, some crazy stuff started happening in 2020. Some crazy things started happening in March 2020, namely the coronavirus. And that is reflected a little bit in these numbers. There are a few little glimmers of hope if you have been looking to purchase a house recently, and I will go over those. But yeah, by and large, it is still a very tight market, very limited inventory, and rising home prices. Might start to get a little interesting so far as the stats go, because March 2020, obviously, we had a little bump in the road there called coronavirus. So be interesting to see how these stats look over the coming month. All right, so let's dive on into these statistics here. So this is for Hillsborough County, March 2021 compared to March 2020. So if you watch previous months' videos, you know that the overarching trend is that we have fewer and fewer houses for sale. Demand has held steady or risen, resulting in phenomenally high prices and very few homes to choose from. That market trend does continue here. There are a few bits of hope, which I will go over a little bit later in the video, but let's dive into these numbers here. So Hillsborough County, March 2021 compared to 2020, the total number of closed sales is up 11.6% to 2,061 homes. Now, this is a little interesting statistic, and this is something I want to bring to your attention, something that has changed the last few months, or that has grown the last few months. I rarely ever go over this statistic. So this is going to be the number of transactions paid for in cash. And that number is actually up 69.6% from 280 to 475. Now, the reason this is happening is because it is a extremely competitive housing market to purchase a house. And obviously a full price or above asking price offer, cash, is basically about the strongest offer you can make. So the number of those transactions is up 69.6%. Sometimes that could also indicate a large number of investment purchases. But in this case, it's like I can tell you, even the luxury stuff that I've sold, $890,000, all cash. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that it is impossible to purchase a house if you have a loan, because there are certain ways that we can frame the offer and structure the offer to where you do have a decent chance of having your offer accepted without spending a lot of extra money unnecessarily. Basically, you don't have to go like $40,000 above asking price with a loan to get the deal. Like there's ways to structure it, so that you only are having to spend the money that you actually have to. If you want some details on that, feel free to leave me a comment or reach out to me via the contact information below. Median sales price is up 19.3% to $315,000, and average sales price is up 25.2% to $402,089. Now, if you need a little bit of refresher on the difference between median and average, as I'm sure you know, let's say you have 5 houses, you add the price of those 5 houses together and then divide it by 5, that's your average. Median sales price is a little different. Let's say that you have 99 houses. So the median price is going to be the price that is smack dab in the middle, where there are the same number of houses priced higher and the same number of houses priced lower. Personally, I like median sales price a little bit more. It does remove some volatility from the average home price. For example, if a lot of very expensive or very inexpensive homes sell, that can drag the average price in a certain direction. So Personally, I like the median price a little bit better because to me, that kind of shows a little bit more of where the actual middle is. So far as when it comes to the total number of houses being sold. Now, another one I don't usually cover here is the median percent of original list price received, which is a lot of words. But basically what this is there's a house for sale. There's an asking price for that house. What is the winning offer as a percentage of the asking price? And that has gone up 1.9%, so not a lot, but it's gone up from 98.1% to 100%. So basically, when a house sells, on average, when a house sells, it sells at asking price currently. Now, I have successfully negotiated some price reductions, including a 4% price reduction recently. So it's not unheard of, but it is tricky and difficult to do, and definitely not a typical thing that happens in the current market conditions. Median time to contract. So this is how long a house is on the market before it receives a winning offer, is down 75% to 7 days. That is blisteringly quick. The number of new listings is down just a touch. It's down 1.7% from 2,189 new listings to 2,152. Now, this is the doozy. The number of total inventory, so this is every single family home for sale, is down 67% from 3,852 to 1,254. So we're over 2/3 down. We only have 1/3 of the houses for sale in March 2021 that we did in March 2020. That is a huge drop in inventory. Now, I do like to dive a little bit more into the specific price points here, because let's face it, $1 million house is going to sell, a little bit different time frame than a $200,000 house. So I do like to go over the specific price points just to kind of illustrate what is happening in each of the various brackets of the market. Let's just hit closed sales first. This is the total number of completed sales. Under $50,000, there was zero. There was absolutely no single-family home sold for under $50,000 in March 2021 in Hillsborough County. $50,000 to $100,000 is down 61% to 7. $100,000 to $150,000 is down 20% to 46. And $150,000 to $200,000 is down 60% for a total of 98. The next set of statistics might raise an eyebrow a little bit, and I'm going to explain what's happening here. So $250,000 to $300,000 is actually up 19.9% to 451. $300,000 to $400,000 is up 59.8% to 540. $400,000 to $600,000 is up 55.8% to 352. The thing that you're probably asking yourself with this is like, where did all of these very expensive homes come from? Like, is there some neighborhood that opened up and everybody decided to sell? The answer is no. What has actually happened here is homes over the last year have slid up into another price bracket. So that is why under 250 everything is down, including the zero for less than $50,000, and everything $250,000 and up, it has we've actually sold more in those price points. The craziest one being $1 million or more is actually up 184% to 71. So that's these, and all these stats kind of have that breakdown, and a lot of these price bracket stats have that sort of break where, because more houses are selling in those higher price points, things are a little skewed a little bit. This is pretty clearly indicated by new listings by the initial listing price. So basically, 250 to 300 is only down 3.9%. So honestly, compared to what the rest of the stuff, $250,000 and under is how that is moved. A drop of only 3.9% is actually pretty good. Between 50 to 100,000, there was a drop of 60%. There was only 8 new listings in that price range. 100 to 150 was a drop of 56.2% for a total of 39. 150 to 200,000 was a drop of 53% for 104. So there was 53.8% fewer new listings between that 150 and 200 price point. 300 to 400,000, we actually had 48% more homes for a total of 614. 400 to 600,000 increased 36.1% to 415. 600 to a million was an increase of 27% for a total of 193. So that stat really illustrates how a lot of houses have basically moved up significantly in price in the last 12 months. However, total inventory for all price points is down. So less than $50,000 is down 100% to zero. $50,000 to $100,000 is down 76.3% to 9. $100,000 to $150,000 is down 81.3% to 27. They're all basically down at least half, with the exception of $1 million or more, which is only down 37.3% to 156. And it's crazy to me to think that if you're looking, and this is for the whole county, Hillsborough County is a huge place. So if you're looking in the $250,000 to $300,000 range, there's only 186 houses total for sale in the whole county. So that's Plant City, that's Temple Terrace, that's New Tampa, that's Apollo Beach, that's Waimama, like Riverview, Bloomingdale, everywhere. Only 186. That just, I don't know. If you've been thinking about selling your house, please contact me, because it is a gold mine to sell currently. You're going to get an absolutely ridiculous price for your house. Now, the last page here, this is what I like to call the doom and gloom page. If you've been watching previous months, you will know that we have had a foreclosure moratorium and eviction moratorium. So, these numbers are suppressed from where they should be. There are some people that believe that we're going to have a huge backlog of foreclosures come up. To me, with those inventory numbers, it would take thousands and thousands of foreclosures to overcome that shortage of inventory. So I can't say that it's impossible, because it definitely has happened before. So I'm definitely not going to say it's impossible, but I do believe that it is unlikely, and it would take a very long time to happen. But the total number of foreclosures for sale in Hillsborough County dropped 80% from 50 to 10. Interesting thing is that median sales price for those foreclosures climbed 63.7% to $313,000. And total number of short sales. So short sale is when somebody owes more on their house than they can sell it for. Total number of short sales held steady, zero change. So for a total of 4 units. So that is the Hillsborough County market statistics. So I wanted to come back and visit my daily new listings for both Pinellas and Hillsborough County combined. So I had been tracking this since the start of the pandemic, just so I could have an accurate count of how many new listings are coming online in both counties, because that's going to tell me if there has been any changes in inventory and basically what to expect for the coming weeks. This is very useful for knowing how to market listings, and also how tough you can be in negotiations, and just to kind of have a pulse on the market to know what's going on. So we had kind of been lulled in the last few months where things had basically been held steady. But I want to kind of revisit these since it's been a couple months since we've taken a look at these. So obviously, this time last year was when everyone was, locked down and secured on coronavirus. So, restaurants were still closed up, and the number of listings plummeted substantially. So what I'm seeing currently is, this is the number of listings for the last 7 days from May 4th through the 28th. So a total of 807 listings, whereas same time last year we had almost 700. So we have 15% more listings now than last year. The last 2 weeks, it's about 30%, and then the last 30 days is up about 45%, which sounds great. However, compared to 2 years ago, which is kind of the last normal March numbers, so actually I could probably take these. Actually, let me update these. So this is literally 1 year ago. This is 2 years ago. And this is 3 years ago, because we have rolled into a new year. So compared to the last quote-unquote normal year, we can see that we are still down 20%, 14%, 13% for those same time periods. And then compared to 3 years ago, we're down 20% and then 17%. So we are still a little behind on number of listings that are coming up for sale. However, it's not as bad as it has been for the last 6 months. So this is some good news. So there's more listings coming on the market than there was historically. And another kind of good sign is that we have actually had two days here where we have had over 200 new listings pop up on the market. And that is something that we have not had in a very long time. So that is definitely some good news, especially if you are in the market to buy. So there's going to be a little bit more to choose from than there has been. Now, that said, it's going to take quite some time for these additional listings to kind of overwhelm the inventory deficit that we have. So don't expect any instant changes here. This is going to take quite some time to make a dent in things, but it's something I'm going to be keeping an eye on, because if this trend continues, then prices should relax here a little bit. And again, this is important to know both on the listing side and the buyer's side. So overall, what are we looking at here? Well, it's going to be continued high prices. If you're looking to buy, it's definitely going to be tricky. Not impossible, because like I said, I have successfully negotiated contracts, and I've also negotiated significant price reductions. A lot of it is very dependent on the house itself. It can be trickier if you're doing specialized loan products like FHA or a VA loan. Those especially can be tricky, but there are ways that we can structure and submit those so that they have a better chance of being accepted. But it's just, unless you're looking at like 300,000 and above, things get a little easier. If the house is 100% ready to go, fully renovated, move-in ready, there's going to be a lot of competition on it. If you're open to maybe doing a little work, you're probably going to have a little bit easier time of things. So what's going to break this? That's what everyone keeps asking me. What's the coming change going to be? As I mentioned on the doom and gloom page, a lot of people think it's going to be the foreclosures. That's going to take a very long time to work itself out. What I think the major change is going to come from is vaccinations reaching widespread adoption, which we're doing pretty good on that so far. Vaccinations reaching widespread adoption, which causes everyone to relax and feel a little bit more comfortable. So the folks that decided not to sell their house and to kind of hunker down whenever coronavirus started, they're going to come back to the market and be like, okay, we feel a little bit more comfortable letting people in our house for showings, and let's see about getting this house sold. The number of those folks, I feel, is going to be significantly higher than the number of foreclosures, because in my daily tracking of the number of listings, I literally saw within a week the number of listings basically just cut in half to 60%. And those people never really came back to the market, like a little bit. I would say maybe from the numbers I've seen, we're actually doing pretty decent numbers now on our daily listings. We're still down compared to 2019, which is like the last normal year. So, but it's a question of when those people feel comfortable. So it's kind of a fix the pandemic problem, and the inventory problem will probably solve itself. So if you haven't gotten vaccinated yet, maybe make an appointment and go get that done, pitch in a little bit. I got my second dose a couple weeks ago. Wasn't too bad, to be honest. So I slept a lot the next day. So, but to me, that's kind of the overarching thing with the market here. So anyway, I wanted to thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Kyle Sasser. I'm a realtor with Keller Williams St. Petersburg. This is Great Homes Tampa Bay. Be sure to subscribe to this wherever you're listening to it at. I do go over market statistics as well as other interesting videos concerning real estate, ways to help your house value, and just answer generalized questions. So be sure to check out the channel, hit that subscribe button. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll talk to you soon.